Hi, it's Andy.
Hi, it's Dave.
Hi, it's Kirk.
Welcome to the A.D.K rock and metal channel, and today we're going to be checking out Within Temptation, and the song is Bleed Out. I like Within Temptation. I haven't listened to this one though, so it's been a while since I've checked any of them out. So really looking forward to it. Let's go check it out. Okay, there we go. Within Temptation and Bleed Out. Just throw it to Andy for first thoughts and feelings.
Band I know to a certain degree. I discovered them on I think it was a Metal Hammer cover mount DVD with various live videos and sort of promotional videos, and it was a live performance of Ice Queen, and I bought the album that accompanied it. Because I mean, it was a live performance, and it just was a bit sort of a departure from what I was listening to at the time, a bit more sort of mellow, a bit more accessible, a bit more engaging, and I really like that track and the album. But I've always found, sorry, that Sharon Den Adder's voice doesn't really compare to her peers. You know, hasn't got quite the range and the power of say, Tarja and Alicia Glass-White, for example. But she's a good vocalist. Coming on to this track, I think the biggest thing you can take away, or the most memorable thing you can take away, is the striking visuals of the video. I mean, that is what we're all going to get used to in all our lives when it comes to sort of imagery. It's AI, isn't it? That looks very AI inspired, if not AI generated, and it was really captivating. Something that I could watch over and over again, and sort of try and pick out all the different elements that's going on. I mean, the imagery that was in there, I think, would be really interesting and captivating, whatever sort of method they used, you know, whatever sort of animation or filmmaking they used. But the song itself was quite unremarkable, for want of a better words. I mean, there were some really sort of heavy musical passages, but it wasn't that engaging. I think the video was sort of more enthralling and kind of maybe took away from the song. And it's sort of very radio friendly as well, I think. You know, whether that's sort of what is typical of Within Temptation sort of music nowadays, I don't know, but wasn't overwhelmed by it. But the video was very, very memorable and would deserve repeat viewing.
Okay.
You were shaking your head and putting some expressions there. So you either disagree or agree with me very strongly. I don't know which.
So it's really interesting because those visuals is what I've been working on for Telescribe.
Okay.
So that AI over the top of live footage is what we've been working on for some stuff. So when I saw the visuals pop, I went, yeah, I know that. Yeah, okay. And so I could tell what they've done is they've done a live performance and they fed that into a generator, which has generated a lot of their looks. And then the other bits, which were not with them performing, were generated by typing in what they wanted to see. And then it's all been pulled together. So I know it because that's what I've been working on some stuff for Telescribe earlier today with very, very similar kind of vibe on it. The problem I have with it, and one of the reasons I'm not trying to use it as extensively as they have in this case, is you'll have noticed with Sharon in her singing, you can't get the mouth to match up. And I found that really off-putting. When I'm watching her sing, her mouth isn't actually singing with the words. It's kind of just all over the place because it doesn't stay in time with and it is captured from a live performance. So it made me feel like it should have been used a bit more sparingly. And they obviously did film it in a proper cathedral setup with the backdrop as well. They can tell that was done in some church somewhere because there's too much realistic footage in there. So I would have said that I would have liked to have seen that actual live performance. I would have probably said a bit more captivated if I'd seen some of that and used some AI and maybe balanced the mix between the two. It's kind of what I expected from a Within Temptation song. A lot of what I've heard in the last 5 to 10 years of what's come out of them, it has been very, very radio friendly. I really liked one of their oldest tracks, Faster. Paradise was great because she did that with Tarja. And they did a duet on that particular one. Great song. But it is very radio friendly. Big chords. This to me was even further down that rabbit hole. Apart from the big heavy slamming guitar at the beginning. Now, that got my ears up there. That real heavy low tune. I was like, oh, this is different. This is going somewhere. And then it kicked into the verse. I'm like, okay. This is Evanescence. We're talking early 2000s goth metal, goth rock vibe again. And I'm saying this as a Within Temptation fan. I'm really disappointed because there's no real substance to this. It's it's bleed out, there's bleed out. I'm like, nah, it's a radio-friendly, Nickelbacky, gothic rock song. They're so much better than this, in my opinion. And so I'm disappointed from that point of view. I wanted it to be so much more. I wanted it to hook me in and go and get really excited about a new album from them. I've heard this and I'm like, I might not bother getting it because it's just not anything there for me to get after. I think they've had much better tracks out historically. So I don't know. There's just nothing special about this track for me. Kirk, what did you reckon of it?
Disclosure, first time I've ever heard the band. Off camera, I was getting these mixed up with Oceans of Slumber.
Okay.
But it's a name I'm familiar with. They're nothing like Oceans of Slumber. Yes, and then when I saw it, I was like, this is a band that Nightwish fans and Delane fans obviously like. I did enjoy that. I thought the chorus was superb. It really was. What an uplift. That opening riff as well, clearly they've been going through the Meshuggah discography. Because listen, how you think it's going to be in 4/4 timing, and it deliberately adds in an extra beat. So I think that would instantly disqualify it from the radio because people can't get their heads around that. So it's one of those things like guitar feedback. You've got a song with guitar feedback in, it's never going to be played on the radio. I think that would be difficult to play on the radio if it was for a mainstream audience. I love that opening riff so much. I was disappointed they only did it for 4 bars and they only brought it back after each chorus, to transition to the next verse. They should have made more of that. It's like when our good mate Dave was reviewing a song by Kariga and he criticized him because he loved the riff so much he wanted to just keep going. I'm a bit like that with the intro, so it took me by surprise and was not expecting that. That was an excellent riff. Do you know what was clever about this song? It's such a journey to get to the chorus, and I don't mean it was interminable either. I think it's just so clever how they pieced it together. Verse 1, no drums in there. Verse 2, they come in and you get some palm muted guitar, and then you get a really long pre-chorus or bridge. And it's impressive how that transitions into the chorus. And I knew they were going to repeat it for a second time and then do the chorus multiple times at the end. So even though there's an identifiable formula, I still enjoyed the song. I think the production was excellent. The symphonics in it as well. And I noticed this song was only released 5 days ago. So clearly it's going to get a lot of the fan base talking. But as my first exposure to Within Temptation, I'm surprised by how much that really held my attention because I don't really listen to gothic metal anymore. I like the early stuff that Paradise Lost obviously pioneered and Tiamat and bands like that, but this is one of the most formulaic genres in the scene, isn't it? But that was an excellent song. Great chorus, love the vocals, real anguish, I thought, to the chorus as well, the way she delivered it. Yeah, Dave, because I don't have any affinity with this band, don't know any of the material, I obviously don't know whether I should be disappointed or not, but if I'm just going off my instincts, I would definitely listen to that again. I enjoyed it. I just want the album to have a few more riffs like that opening one, because when they start incorporating those double jointed 8-string guitar type riffs, you really are opening your sound up. I just hope that they're going to go more in that direction on this album if I'm to give it a listen.
Okay, that's fair point. Well, there we go. If you liked this video, please do like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the video sometime very soon. Take care.